All right. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the next episode of New Earth Teachings Live. It's good to have you all here once again. And we're going to be doing some extra stuff for this New Earth Teachings Live today before we get into healing and before we get into Q&A. And the chat is now available, guys. I actually haven't seen any posts up yet, so if you guys want to use the chat, it is available for you here on YouTube. Usually when I come online, there's quite a few people chatting on the live chat, but it looks pretty quiet today. So, okay, there we go. Got some people coming through now. Hey guys, welcome. All right, so of course, before we start off New Earth Teachings and the live broadcast today, I'm going to be. Whoops, sorry, that's the wrong graphic there. Let's see if I can fix this a bit. Okay, never mind. I thought I had that graphic up, but no. Next week, we're going to be doing empathic interfacing live. So that will be the big presentation for next week. So I will be bringing in Athena once again next week, as she will be sharing some insight relating to current happenings and current involvement with what's happening here on the Earth. So again, it's always great to communicate with Athena. So that will be happening next week. I thought I had my graphic for empathic interfacing live, but no, I don't. Have to do some rearranging, I think. But anyways, we're going to go ahead and get started with announcements, and then we're going to be going into a meditation, which I'll be talking more about after we get into the announcements. So the first announcement is the New Earth Teachings online classroom through Patreon. Okay, so my Patreon page is up. It's patreon.com/New Earth Teachings. So we do weekly online classrooms every Monday at 12 p.m. Pacific, 3 p.m. Eastern, and 8 p.m. in the UK. So online classrooms, it's 90 minutes long, and all participants that go into the classroom are able to ask any questions they like. We share topics. It pretty much is like what I do with private sessions, but in a very large group environment. And so the last class I did, we had some really great conversations. We did some healing as well too. Had some great questions as well too. So this is available for everybody. There is a membership of $20 per month. You'll also be getting included digital courses as well too, such as the Akashic Records Home Study course, the Law of Attraction Unleashed, the Merkaba Meditation series, and you'll also be able to request specific videos that are only meant for the patrons in that way. So you can request videos. You'll also have free 3-question email sessions per month. So we're basically doing a 3-question email session each month to our participants, our students all together. So again, the website is, sorry guys, patreon.com/New Earth Teachings. I have to remember to start doing some vocal warm-ups. I always get this scratchy voice in the morning. So again, that is patreon.com/New Earth Teaching. So go ahead and check that out. Again, only $20 per month, and you get some incredible benefits and perks out of it. So go ahead and check that out. Okay. Oops, let me go this one first. Okay, Mount Shasta Spirit Ambassador Retreat and Activation. We still have a couple spots left. We're filling up, so it's great to see some people who are going to be involved with the Mount Shasta Spirit Ambassador Retreat and Activation to come together. We're going to be doing a lot of outdoor activity. Like I said in previous weeks, we are going to be doing Spirit Ambassador training, certification training, initiating people into becoming Spirit Ambassadors by being able to work with the Spirit codes, the Spirit healing codes, and of course training to be an EQ method practitioner. We will also be doing remote viewing experiments going back hundreds or even thousands of years in time and looking at all of these sites in ancient times. We will be connecting to the Telosian consciousness within Mount Shasta. We'll be connecting to other forms of collectives as well too, both on Earth and extraterrestrial related as well too. I'll be spending a lot of time with people. We'll be working together with any forms of physical, emotional, mental healing as well too. Like I said, we'll be going to lakes, we'll be going to waterfalls, we'll be going to Pluto's cave, we'll be going around Mount Shasta. We'll be doing a very big healing on Mount Shasta as well too, clearing away all the darkness deeply within the bowels of the mountain. We'll be clearing that out using spirit codes and the EQ method as a group consciousness. So we're going to do a lot of exciting things at Mount Shasta. So again, just go to newearthteachings.com and you'll see this poster on the homepage. Click on the poster and you'll be taken to the event page there. And all the information is there relating to lodging, relating to transportation. We will have transports available for everybody. So we'll be renting vans and taking everybody to these sites. And I'll be teaching you guys on site. I'll be teaching you how to connect with nature. I'll be teaching you to feel how each other's energies are interacting with one another when we go to these specific sites, what you're feeling, what inner senses are you experiencing, helping to clear away subconscious debris. All of this. We're going to be going very, very deep. It is definitely going to be the deepest retreat I've ever done. So again, I'm really looking forward to it. And of course, the same with South Africa. Cosmic Exploration Tour of South Africa. Wonderworld.vacations. South Africa with Michael Tallinger and myself. Again, this too is happening in September up until, I believe it's October 2nd. And then I think it's September 19th to October 2nd, if I remember correctly. But we'll be connecting with the Anunnaki, mankind, giants, and gold. Michael Tallinger will have his own presentations that he'll be sharing, his wonderful research. And then, of course, Adronis will be coming through, sharing some powerful insight as well, too, as he has been recently, sharing some pretty incredible insight. So we'll have a lot more of that. And, of course, we'll be doing the remote viewing experiment, going back hundreds or even thousands of years to these sacred sites and taking a deeper look into them as a group. I will be working with people, helping them to align and being as receptive as they can be to spirit as we start looking into these sites and start reflecting back on what these ancient sites have held. So again, the website is in the video description, but it is wonderworld.vacations. Okay, so we are going to go ahead and move on here. So, as you guys know, I had the new Adronis Earth Affairs update that was uploaded to YouTube last night, and it's been doing incredibly well. I'm really amazed to see how many people are starting to view it, so it's excellent. But what I want to do today is I want to do a special kind of meditation, and I was actually getting a download of this early this morning, relating to the chemtrail situation on our planet. Now, here's the thing. Where I live here in Vancouver, BC, Canada, we actually haven't had any chemtrails for the past couple of weeks. Now, there are other people in that sense who have also reported that they have not had chemtrails in certain areas, but of course there are people that say, well, the chemtrails are still here, but they may not be as heavy as they used to be. Well, it's because we are going through a transitional phase right now. What I have received is that before the end of this summer, we can basically see little to no chemtrails at all. They're going to start being pulled. Now, last year, Adronis did a video. I can't remember which one it was. I wasn't too sure if it was on a New Earth Teachings Live or anything of that nature. But I do remember him saying that the chemtrail operations are going to cease. They are going to stop. It's all about being able to get the chemtrails out of the way so that Earth can start to heal itself altogether. And that this is being broadcast through the government circles on the planet. And so this is now just very slowly starting to happen. So what we're going to do with this spirit code meditation that I'm going to do is all of us are going to come together and we're going to put a lot of love and tension to completely abolish the chemtrails all across the world together in this group consciousness meditation that we're going to do. So whether you're watching this live or whether you're looking at this through the recording, doesn't matter. Either way, your energy will have an effect, right? Everything is here. Everything is now. So that's what we're going to do firstly. Matt says, Canada does not get many chemtrails. Matt, yes, it does. If you actually come here to Vancouver, to Surrey, especially around the spring and summertime, we get quite a bit. We get quite a lot of chemtrails. This is not about, Vancouver gets like one little dinky chemtrail. No, man. We're getting like 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. We're getting quite a lot of chemtrails through this summer. Believe me, I know because I was dissolving a lot of them with the spirit light codes. So no, that's not true at all. Canada does get a lot of chemtrails, man. Come up here if you don't believe me. Right? If I could take it back in time, a few weeks ago, yeah, we were getting quite a lot. So Canada is not like, well, they don't get chemtrails. Yeah, we do. Everybody in the world gets chemtrails. Okay, it was a worldwide aspect pertaining to the chemtrail agenda, right? Everybody's been affected by it. So what we're doing here is we're going to do our best to come together and clear this chemtrail out. And again, here's the whole idea: is don't get cocky. Don't feel, oh, you know what, bro, this is just going to take care of itself. No, let's give it a boost. What's going to be the harm by doing that all together, right? Come together. Let's work together with energy. Let's work together with loving energy. And let's do this work together as a group consciousness and helping to completely propel the chemtrails out of the picture altogether. That is my recommendation to all of you right now, right here. Okay? So let's do this firstly. Getting ourselves nice and comfortable, placing our feet firmly upon the ground, and having roots coming out through the bottom of the feet, going deeply into the earth, and just feeling that brown energy coming up through your feet, coming up through your ankles, coming up through your legs, coming all the way up into the sacrum. And now just connecting that energy with your chakra centers. So moving the brown energy into the red of the root chakra, moving up into the navel chakra of orange, moving up into the solar plexus of yellow, moving up into the heart chakra of green, moving up into the throat of aquamarine or sky blue, moving up into the third eye of ocean blue, moving up to the crown chakra of violet, ultraviolet. And just feeling that brown energy mixing with all the chakra centers. And now just feeling the crown chakra opening up like an unfolding fan. And just feeling the rainbow light coming out through the head, cascading down the body, going down the feet, and connecting directly to the perineum in between the genitals. And feeling the rainbow energy slowly starting to rotate, completely grounding yourself to the earth. And now receiving cosmic, spiritual energy from the heavens down into your body. And so now let's all take a deep breath in, a deep breath out. And once again, deep breath in, deep breath out. And one more time, deep breath in, deep breath out. All right, and now we're just going to focus on the location that we are in right now. And I just want you to almost look at it like a Google Maps perspective, right? You're just zooming out from where you are, from your home, from your apartment building, wherever it is, and you're just zooming out. And you're seeing a wider perspective of your town, of your city. And as you're zooming out, I just want you to look skywards. Just look upwards. And just seeing the sky all around you. And I want you just to see the sky as that perfect blue, as a clear blue. That there's not a single chemtrail in the sky. There's not a single cloud in the sky. It is completely blue. And now I just want you to put your intention forward. And this intention is very simple. This intention involves being able to bring forward the intention of having absolutely no chemtrails in the sky. Having the sky completely clear. May the chemtrail agenda completely end here and now. Having clear blue skies and bringing forward healing energy for our skies, for our lands, for our cities, for our nature, for our animals, and for the people. That pure healing energy is flowing throughout the skies, throughout the lands, throughout the water. And we are, through our own intention, stating we have completely ended the chemtrail agenda. And as a result, we are seeing healing energy everywhere, throughout the skies, throughout the lands, throughout the water. And I just want you to imagine that that healing energy, whatever color you give it, is spreading out. So if you're in North America, you're seeing the entire North American continent being completely covered by this healing color energy. If you're in Europe, same thing. You're seeing your continent feeling completely this healing energy that is covering the continent altogether. So just cover the continent that you're on. And now spread it out even further, feeling this pure healing light that is now completely covering the entirety of the planet. And you are saying, the chemtrail agenda has been completely canceled out. The chemtrail agenda has been completely canceled out. And all that remains is this pure healing energy from the layers of each of us. So all of our healing energy, healing color layers are stacked upon ourselves, stacked upon the planet, and ready to engulf the entire world with this chemtrail-free agenda. Chemtrails have been canceled out entirely. So I want you all now just to hold that energy within your mind. I command Spirit's God Light to completely bring an end to the chemtrail agenda, completely ending all chemtrails across the entire planet through the collective energy of all those who are present here and now, bringing their healing energies throughout the entire planet, gathering all of that healing energy and strong intention together to put an end to the chemtrail agenda so that the entire world is free of the toxins, the chemicals, the debris, the poisons of these chemtrails. And the earth can now heal from the end of this chemtrail agenda. Apply. And that's what I want you all to do right now, is just put that intention forward and just doing similarly to what I just did, saying to Spirit, putting an end to the chemtrail agenda, allowing the earth to heal. Let it be done. Apply. And let's take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. And let's feel that this has been done. Let's feel that all of the work that we put in, the healing energies, the healing color vibration of what we have done, that we have all put this energy around the planet, and that our collective efforts can make this happen, because that's what allows collective consciousness to change, is when enough people get together and they work together, they unify together, and they bring this together as one. So let's take a moment now to come back into the present moment. And we can open our eyes. Okay, well, that feels good. It feels really great. There's a definite lightness in the air as well too. So again, this is what I'm receiving, is that the chemtrails are definitely on the way out, and what we're doing is accelerating that process, is clearing it out completely, is that this is going to be the end of the entire chemtrail agenda that has lasted decades. And so it is now on the way out, and we are all collectively doing that together. Okay? It's not about just one president doing it all, one person hogging all the glory. No, it doesn't work that way, guys. The president doesn't really do anything, hardly does anything in that way. All right, a lot of people say, oh, this is because of Trump and stuff like that. No, guys. As I said, this all started together with higher collectives beyond the earth. And they were informing the proxies that are here on the planet that relate to a lot of world leaders, even relating to people that aren't even in politics. This is time for the chemtrail agenda to end altogether. And so we will go into the circles, it'll start to trickle down into the earth, and there will be physical action that is responsible for this clearing that will take place, and people will start to act, whether they're government, political, military, whether it's common citizens, common people, right? Everybody is involved for the clearing of the chemtrails. It is not down to one person, right? A lot of people put this quote unquote kind of worship into presidents and stuff like that. And that's very, very dangerous. You don't want to do that, right? That's just my recommendation. You want to put your intentions, your faith into the power of yourself, not as some guy who's sitting at a desk, okay? That's not the way to liberate yourselves. You're giving a person too much power, and they don't deserve your power. You deserve your power, and you're sharing your power with other people's power because you are in sync. You are completely in alignment pertaining to the idea of what you want to achieve commonly, collectively. That's what we're here to do. Okay, so I wanted to share that as well too. Some people think, oh, brother, you are a Trump supporter. Well, guys, I'm not even American. I'm Canadian, all right? I'm not American. So, no, I don't support politics. I don't support politicians. If they're doing what they're doing, hey, that's part of their aspect. But again, that's all part of the melodramatic wheel of just an excuse of us putting our powers in areas that really shouldn't be there. I put my power in me, and I put my power in humanity. Humanity gets the power. It's not some guy sitting on the desk thinking that they're doing everything with the power of the pen, right? They just become a catalyst of what we are all intending. And that catalyst plays themselves out to fulfill what the intention of the collective consciousness is bringing forward. As I've said, when we're really looking at someone like Trump, he's not really in charge, guys. There's people higher ups that are basically telling him what to do. And he does it, and then there's an association, it's a manifestation, it's a reflection to what we are all intending to put together in that way. It's the collective consciousness that's making the change. It's not one man. Okay, so let's go ahead and move into the Q&A, into the healing, firstly. So we kind of went about 20 minutes over, so we're going to probably do about an hour and a half show today, up until about 1:30 p.m. Pacific here. So I'm going to spend the next half hour now doing some healing requests. So I think I had a donation here earlier, yes, from Waltrout Shepherd. Thank you, Waltrout, for your session, or for your for your contribution. Waltrout says, "Hi Brad, my gums, tongue, and teeth are hurting and burning really bad. Can you help me? I can eat or drink. I can eat or drink, or I can't eat and drink." Okay, so your tongue, your gums, teeth, and tongue are hurting and burning really bad. Okay, you may have an infection. You might have an infection within your mouth. Might be within the throat as well too. Okay, so we can work on clearing out infection, virus, harsh bacteria that's contained in the throat as well too, and we'll work on that. So Waltrout, what I'd like you to do right now is just placing your hands. You can either do it two ways. One, you can just kind of put your hand, you can put one hand here, or you can kind of put it over here by the chin, whatever you feel is comfortable, okay? But just kind of putting the hand here, I'd say just closer to the throat. And again, I want you to feel like a root is coming out through the hand, okay? And it's connecting directly to those areas, to the teeth, to the mouth, to the tongue. Now, it's actually not multiple areas because we are just clearing out the entire mouth and throat area, okay? Just to see if there's any bacteria infections, any viruses, etc., okay? So I just want you to take all of that stinging or heat or, again, discomfort energy, that pain energy. And again, I want you to imagine like you're turning it into a liquid and you're putting it into your hand here, okay? And I'll just give you a few moments. And again, I want you to feel like your hand is starting to get heavy because you're putting all of that pain energy directly into the hand, okay? I want you to target everything relating to the mouth, okay? And target and put that energy directly into the hand. Okay, so I'll try to, I just want you to hold that there. I command Spirit's God Light to completely cancel out, purge, and release all of the dense pain energy from Waltraut's hand, from his mouth and throat, lifting all of that energy up out of his body, putting it up into source consciousness to be purified, and canceling out any bacterias, any viruses, any pathogens, any chemicals, any harsh, stagnant energy that is causing the inflammation within his mouth and throat altogether. May it be cleared and removed from his body altogether. Apply. Okay. So while trot, just take a deep breath in, deep breath out. And you can kind of just get an impression about how your mouth is feeling altogether. But I would also look into maybe looking into some antibacterial assistance with that. Because like I said, it does feel like it may be an infection. But like I said, spirit codes will go in there and help to clear it out. But again, on a physical level, yeah, it's good to try and take care of that and see if you can get some antibacterial effects with that. You may want to look into a product that I've used in the past as well too. It's called Structured Silver. Okay, there's a website called thankyousilver.com. I've used it in the past. I've had it for toothaches. I've had it for some infections as well too. And within a couple days, it cleared right up using this. So again, the website is thankyousilver.com. So you may want to look into that. Okay. Thank you, Waltrot. Hope you feel better. Okay, so moving down here. So I'm just going to scroll down to see if we have any other healing requests. Again, guys, if you want to leave donations for your healing requests, that puts you first in line, and that's always appreciated because I respect the donations and contributions I receive. It certainly is a sacred gift, so I thank you for that. Okay, here's one here from Music City 11. My body, specifically shoulders and feet, have been popping out of control lately. Interesting. Feels energy related. Any ideas on origin or guidance on this? Well, popping out is a pretty general term. Now, again, there's such a thing as jolts. Sometimes if we're meditating or if we're just getting up in the morning, we can feel like our body is jolting certain ways. But if you feel that they've been popping out of control lately, I would suggest just working together on the joints in that way. I think what we can do for today is if we pick one area, I can probably work on your shoulders and just making sure that the joints are in good shape, are in good health altogether. For your feet, what I would suggest is BCR technique, right? Start bringing some love energy in them, just making sure they're good. Again, I'm just a little bit too uncertain of what you mean by them popping out in that way. But what I can do is I can bring some love energy, some spirit code healing to your shoulder area and see if that may help out altogether, okay? So Music City 11, I just want you to place your hand upon the top of your chest here. Okay, and I just want you to tune into your shoulders. We're just going to do shoulders, okay, guys? Remember, single request healing, right? So again, just tapping into the shoulders. And I just want you to feel as if there's any tension, any pain, any discomfort around the area of the shoulder blades. Okay, and just putting all of that dense energy into your hand right now. Okay, so just feel any discomfort, any stagnant energy from your shoulders, putting that into your hand, and just feeling again your hand getting heavy. Okay, and I'll give you a second for that. Okay, and I just want you to keep that there. Hold on to that energy. I command Spirit's God Light to completely cancel out, purge, and release all of the dense energy contained within Music City 11's hand, lifting that energy up out of his body, putting it up into Source Consciousness to be 100% purified. Apply. Okay, and just deep breath in, deep breath out. Okay, so thank you again, Music City 11, and look into the BCR technique relating to your feet. Okay, so I would just putting a lot of love energy in there. It might just be some stagnant energy that's coming around, but like I said, I'm not too sure about the popping, but if there's basically been some jolts or anything of that nature, that's understandable. Just keep working with that with love energy, concentrated love energy with BCR. Okay, thank you very much. Okay, all right, got another contribution here from San Bluxon, I think the name is. Thank you, San. Hi, Brad. Will you please help with my thyroid? It has inflammation. Thank you. Okay, Paco, thank you. Thank you, Paco. I always love these little avatar names, but it's good when I have the person's first name. Okay, Paco, thank you very much. Yes, we'll look into the thyroid here as well, too. So, Paco, I just want you again, place your hand upon the area where the thyroid is located, so just around the upper area between the neck and the chest here. Okay. And again, just imagining a little root coming out of your hands and connecting directly to the thyroid gland, okay? Going right into its heart, the heart of the thyroid. And I want you to command all of that dense energy, the inflammation, because it is often bacteria, infection related as well too, okay? We want to pull all of that out, and we just want to feel that energy coming directly into our hands, okay? So all the dense energy, all the stagnant energy, any pain energy, discomfort energy, just feel like it's turning into a liquid and you're pouring it into your hand. Okay, and your hand starts to feel a little bit heavy. Okay, once you've done that, just holding that energy there. I command Spirit's God Light to completely cancel out, purge, and release all of the dense, stagnant energy contained within Paco's hand, lifting that energy up out of his body, putting it up into source consciousness to be purified, and having his thyroid completely free of any infection, of any viruses, of any pathogens, of any chemicals, of any harsh debris altogether. Apply. Okay. There was some stuff coming out when I did the snapping of the finger for you, Paco. So there's definitely some debris that was in there. So again, my recommendation is to take some iodine drops as well too. If you're not taking iodine already, just get some iodine drops, organic iodine drops, and take like 1 drop a day and about 1 cup of water. That will help with your thyroid to disinfect anything else that may be there as well too. Okay, so look into iodine drops on a physical level, but again, keep putting that love energy in there. Love energy is the strongest thing there is. Okay, thank you, Paco. All right, moving on. So Butterfly Girl, 1871. I know she's back, so thank you again, Butterfly Girl. I know I've helped you in the past. Hi, Brad. I don't know why I am so excessively tired. I am not sick in any way, and I get 8 hours sleep a night. Would you be able to heal this somehow? Well, basically what I can do is I can give you some information. And what I'd like you to do, Butterfly Girl, because it's going to take a couple of different things. Work with the BCR technique, of course. What you want to do is you want to flush out your thyroid gland, you want to flush out your liver, and you want to flush out your kidneys. Okay, so thyroid, liver, kidneys, and the fourth thing would be your adrenals. Okay, we want them all flushed out. So again, go to the BCR technique video and just grab that concentrated energy, clear out entity attachments. Okay, it feels like you may be overcloaked as well too. This is again what they do, especially around the areas of the thyroid as well too. Thyroid represents sluggishness. Okay, if you guys go check out one of my newest videos, right, demonstration of the BCR technique, where I'm demonstrating the BCR, but I also have that link, that PDF document in the video description. Click on that and download that as well too. Okay, you'll find out that the thyroid, when it's out of balance, it's from sluggishness, it's from low energy, right? We have, there's grouchiness, there's grumpiness, there's irritability that comes together. So we want to try and clear out the thyroid as much as possible. Now, if you want, Butterfly Girl, I can work with your thyroid for this session, but I want you to work on the other areas as well too, okay? So I want you to work on your liver, I want you to work on your kidneys, and I want you to work on your adrenals as well too, and just flushing them out with love energy. That I feel would be the best thing, and also using that love energy to clear out any entity attachments, any overcloaking that's going on as well too. We want to clear that out as well. Okay, so Butterfly Girl, let's go ahead and start off with your thyroid. Okay, so you can place your hand here, just as I said previously with Paco. Same thing, feeling a root coming out through your hand, connecting it directly to your thyroid, right to the heart of it. And just feel like there's that dense energy, there's stagnant energy, there's cluttered energy, right? Chaotic energy. You want to clear all of that out, okay? So we want to put all of that energy into your hand, and I'll take care of the entity attachments for your thyroid as well too, okay? But I just want you to take care of all the dense energies, put it in your hand, and if it starts to feel heavy, that energy is coming into your hand, okay? So just go ahead and do that now. Okay. I command Spirit's God Light to completely cancel out, purge, and release all of the dense, stagnant energy contained within Butterfly Girl's hand from her thyroid, lifting that energy from her body, putting it up into source consciousness to be 100% purified, and completely clearing away and banishing any entity attachments contained within the thyroid gland, banishing them from her body altogether, putting them up into source to be purified with light. Apply. Okay. So deep breath in, deep breath out. So again, Butterfly Girl, work on those other 3 areas I mentioned. And again, work with the BCR technique, and that will help you. Now, this used to happen to me before I was getting more into the overcloaking information as well, too, because I'd wake up tired. I'd sleep like 8 or 9 hours. I'd get up, and I'm just feeling sluggish, and then all of a sudden I'd have midday crashes as well, too. but my body was still quite toxic. I thought I was clearing it out quite a bit, but again, a lot of it comes from overcloaking. It's the overcloaking entity attachments that we get. They feed off that energy. They feed off the vitality body, right? So we want to clear them out as much as we can, and we can do that with BCR technique. We do that with charging up that concentrated love energy, putting it in there, and saying, love energy, clear out entity attachments in this organ, in that organ, in all organs, and then being able to clear them out in that way. Okay? So again, thank you very much. I hope you feel better. Okay, so we got one here from Angela. Angela Resendez. Please help me with my legs. They don't work well when my hip my hip goes out. Okay, so basically we want to work with the hips, I guess is what you're saying. Okay, so this again can be, sometimes it can be from accident aspects if we've had incidences in the past physically. There can also be some hereditary nature to it. Of course, there can also be the idea of it kind of going into atrophy over time as well too. So Angela, what I want you to do right now is I just want you to place one hand over one hip, okay? Or if you want, you can take both hands and just put them over your hips if you want. One or two is fine. And again, just feeling like roots are coming out through the hands. And I just want you to feel them connecting directly to your hips, going right to the hip bone, okay? So I want you to feel the hip bones. I want you to feel the muscles, the nerves, the tendons, all of that in between, okay? And so I'm basically just doing it with both hands now. So if you want to do it that way, you can. But I just want you to feel all of the dense energy from your hips. Feel exactly where you feel the pain stems from, okay? We want to zero in on where the pain, the discomfort, the stiffness, the stagnancy, we want to put that directly into our hands, okay? So we're just taking all of that stagnant pain energy and putting that together in our hands right now. And again, feeling like the hands are getting heavy, okay? And if you have a hard time feeling it, just know that it's there, right? You're putting that intention, saying all pain energy, come into my hands. All pain energy in my hips, come into my hands, okay? And just feel your hands there, just getting heavier. Okay. I command spirits, God, light to completely cancel out, purge, and release all of the stagnant pain, discomfort, energy contained within Angela's hands from her hips, lifting those energies up out of her body, putting it up into source consciousness to be 100% purified, and having her hips become completely cleansed of any form of debris, of any stagnant energy, of any pain, of any viruses, of any bacteria, of any other forms of harsh energies altogether. Apply. Okay. There was a lot of stuff coming out of there, Angela. So there's been some neglect relating to your hips. Basically, if you're feeling pain, you've basically been sucking it up too much, right? Don't suck it up, right? Whenever you're feeling a lot of pain, and the minute you feel pain in your body, you got to address it, right? You don't just, oh, my shoulder's killing me. Oh, just I'll manage. It'll be okay. It'll be okay. No, because you're going to eventually lead that to being a chronic illness, right? That's going to lead to a chronic disorder. If you know your shoulder's hurting, you know your back's hurting, don't just suck it up and endure it, right? You got to work on it. You need to sit down. You need to start cultivating love energy, okay? You need to start working with that. Get a massage. Get some work done on yourself, okay? You do not ignore your body. When your body is telling you, I hurt, look into it. Listen to what it's saying, okay? We do not want these things to stagnate because they will get worse and worse and worse, and they will turn chronic. And when that happens, it's not going to be fun whatsoever, okay? So please take good care of yourself, okay? Very, very important. So put lots of love energy into those hips with the BCR technique, okay? Thank you, Angela. Thank you for your contribution. Much love, and I hope you feel better. Okay, moving on to Drusilla. Thank you again for your contribution. Brad, can you check on my health? What needs healing? I'm trying to open my third eye. I'm also from Patreon. Yes, I know, Drusilla. We've had conversations. Well, I can basically do a quick scan for you. Okay, you need to work on your eyes, Drusilla. Okay, it feels like there may be some issues with your eyes altogether. I'm not too sure if you get blurriness or if there's any kind of irritation within your eyes, but your eyes could use a little bit of work, even around the brain area as well too. There might be some toxins, some metals in there. We want to try and clear those out. I'm also getting the thyroid for you as well too. I'm also feeling a little bit of joint stiffness with you as well too. Okay, so we want to clear that out. So that's kind of the scan I'm giving for you, just to work on those areas, work on the eyes, work on the brains, work on the joint stiffness, and also work on the nervous system and the thyroid gland. Okay. So now if you want to open your third eye, I have a video for that. Okay. Light code activation, enhancing the psychic senses. So go to YouTube, type in the search box there, light code activation, enhancing the psychic senses. Okay. My video will come up, and just watch that video. That video is imbued with spirit codes. Okay, this is what I say to everybody who wants to activate the third eye, because this is letting me know where you are. Okay, if you watch the video a few times and you say, yeah, Brad, I feel like my third eye is really starting to open, that's great. So, oh, Brad, I've watched it a few times and nothing's really happening. Okay, so you're toxic. So we got to start clearing out a lot of the debris in the chakra centers. We got to start working on your spine. We got to work on your organs as well too. I want to teach you some breathing techniques so you can start working together with your kundalini. There's a lot that needs to be done. Okay, it's not just a one little fix here. You have to understand that your third eye is a spirit intelligence. Okay, it is alive. It has its own intelligence. It's letting you know that if you want to open up your third eye, it will do it for you. It will help you in that way. You have to reach a certain state of alignment in that way altogether. Okay, so we got to work with your kundalini, we got to work with your body, we got to make sure that your toxins are getting cleared up, because the whole idea is that if you're looking to awaken yourself, not just through your third eye, but your entire kundalini, and there's a lot of debris in the way, that debris is going to get caught into your kundalini, and your kundalini can get stuck. Okay, and now it's not so bad. I once had my kundalini stuck as well too, but I was able to get it unstuck. Okay, so what you do is you basically just work on the area that is the clog, right? For me, it was the solar plexus. I was going through some relationship issues at the time. I cleared that up, and of course, the kundalini was able to raise all the way to the top. Now, again, you'll hear some horror stories on the internet pertaining to kundalini, okay? I can only just talk about my own personal experience. No, it was not a horror story whatsoever with mine. Mine was actually very, very beautiful. It was a very great upliftment. And like I said, I did have a part of my kundalini stuck. It was no problem, right? I was not getting like all these, horrible fears or hallucinations or anything. I wasn't getting any of that, right? It was all just about, okay, I just know that I had to work on relationship issues. I had to clear that out. I was oblivious to it. And Spirit was saying, you got to clear this out. You clear it out. You go back to the kundalini exercise, and kundalini is achieved, okay? So that, again, is part of the third eye. The third eye is part of a kundalini process. So we want to clear out a lot of things below the third eye firstly, okay? So again, watch that video on my channel and see where that takes you all together, okay? Thank you so much, Drusilla, and thank you for your contribution. So work on those areas that I suggested as well too, okay? And after you work on them, Drusilla, because you've already made a contribution, drop me an email. Let me know after you've watched the video. Let me know, and I can do some private work on yourself as well too, okay? Just contact me on my email, info@newearthteachings.org, because you did make a contribution. Okay, thank you. Okay, we're going to go ahead and move on here. We'll probably take about 10 more minutes worth of healing, then we'll get into Q&A. Okay, I'm getting some good questions here, but I got to wait a few minutes before we get into Q&A. Okay. So I'm just scrolling down the list here, guys. Just bear with me. Okay, we're getting some Adronis questions here, which is good. I think I'll just scroll all the way down to the bottom here. Okay, that's just a follow-up from Music City. My body, specifically shoulders and feet, have been popping out of control lately. Feels definitely energy related. I'm going to physical therapy. Okay, any ideas on origins or guidance on this? Well, that's kind of what I just talked about. So hopefully your shoulders are feeling better from your healing, Music City. Okay. There's a lot of comments on the chat here today. Thank you, guys. It's good to see lots of you on here. Okay. Okay, guys, if you have any more healing requests, we got a few minutes left. So if anybody just on the chat wants to receive a healing session, just feel free to put that request out. I'm just seeing a lot of questions here with Adronis and all that. Okay, I have some here from Mila. How can I increase my donation? I don't know. I guess you just do a second donation and you increase it, I guess. Okay, so again, these are questions I'm just trying to get to see if there's any other healing requests coming down here. Okay, Pete says I have had this rash on my cheek for 20 years. Okay, on your face cheek, this rash in that way for 20 years. Okay, wow, it's quite a long time. Okay, Pete. Well, we can certainly do our best to work on that. If there's a rash, I'm not sure if you're meaning like it's like eczema or something of that nature, but we can do what we can to help clear that out. And Elazar, I'll get to your contribution here shortly. Thank you again for that. So I'm just going to work with Pete here for a moment. So Pete, if you're still here, okay, just place your hand upon the area of the cheek where that rash is. Okay, again, just seeing that root coming out. And I just want you to feel like you're connecting to that rash on your cheek. And I just want you to feel like you're pulling all of that energy from the rash into your hands. Now again, depending on what the rash is, if it's eczema or something like that, we may want to point to the liver, okay? We may want to try and clear out energy from the liver. We may also want to try and clear out toxins from the thyroid, okay? So what I want you to say, Pete, is just saying, whatever is causing my rash, may its dense energy come into my hand right now, okay? Whatever is causing my rash, may its dense energy come into my hand right now, okay? And just letting your hand get heavy. Okay. I command Spirit's Godlight to completely cancel out and purge all of the dense energy contained within Pete's hand from the rash and that which is causing the rash, lifting all of that dense energy up out of his body, putting it up into source consciousness to be 100% purified, and bringing that rash into complete 100% healing. Apply. Okay. So Pete, my suggestion for you would be to contact me. I think we should do like a healing session, or at least do an Akashic scan as well too, just to find out if there's anything else that may be responsible for that rash on your cheek. Like I said, we just want to try and get into a little bit of a deeper investigation with it. I feel that this will help you a lot, but it'll be a bit more of a gradual process for that rash to disappear. Okay, but again, thank you for that. Thank you for your request, and I hope you feel better. Okay, moving on to Elazar. Again, I may have a problem always pronouncing your name, but bear with me with that. So it says, Brad, can you scan for anything that might be out of alignment within me? Maybe it's nothing, but I may not be receptive enough to spirits. Okay, a lot of it is just your own thinking, Elazar. Okay, it's basically that you're just intentionally blocking yourself, and I think a lot of it is emotional related. I don't think it's always just to do with the organs or toxicity. Granted, you have some in your body, but a lot of it is personal restriction, right? It's like these barricades of emotions that you're putting together. It's the feeling that maybe at times you may just feel like you're not good enough. You feel like you can't connect to spirit. You feel like there needs to be some type of routine or some type of technique to do it. A lot of it is almost self-sabotaging in that way altogether, okay? Now, basically, once you get those doubts out of your mind, those hesitations, and where a lot of those hesitations would stem from, I'd work with the liver altogether, okay? So clearing out a lot of energies within the liver that represents aggression, anger, feeling upset, frustration in that particular way. I'd also work with the kidneys as well too, right? Any forms of depression, any forms of anxiety in that way. So clearing out those two areas would be my recommendation for you. So, but really what I feel is that there's a lot of emotional issues pertaining to feeling that you're out of alignment, right? And what can I do? And you're looking outside of yourself for answers too much, okay? You need to meditate. You need to go into the BCR technique. Okay, guys, this is why I've created the BCR technique. It's a very, very simple technique, and all you have to do is do it, right? I don't know why you guys aren't doing it. So really just go into that video, follow it step by step. Step number 1, we do breath work, right? We keep breathing 5 times, 10 times, 100 times, however many times you need to do until you're completely calm. Once you are calm, you sit in that calmness for a few moments. Once you're past that feeling of calmness, you feel really good. Now you go into your perfect space inside your mind. Now you start stimulating your environment with things, even small things, that bring you joy and happiness, right? And you increase that. You make it bigger and bigger and bigger, 2 times bigger, 3 times bigger, 5 times bigger. Now you have all of this concentrated love energy here. You put it in your body. You command it. Okay? And now it starts working and it starts clearing yourself up. You want to start walking on clouds. If you want to talk to spirit, you cannot do it at a base level vibration. You can't. Okay? It's basically like trying to hear an echo that really just doesn't make any sense, right? It's like looking into a cave and shouting in the cave. And again, you can't really make out what the echo is saying. You got to raise your frequency. You got to raise your love energy. You got to go up to the clouds. And now you start connecting to spirit a lot more clearer. It's a much more clearer voice. Another analogy is like it's being in a room full of crowded people and trying to make out one voice out of all this other crowds of people that's around, right? You want to raise yourself up. You want to get up on the platform, because now when you get on that platform, you're reaching up into a simpatico frequency together with spirit. Okay, so do not try and reach out to spirit when you're on a base level vibration. It's not going to work. Okay, very, very important that we remember this all together. So Alazar, that's what I suggest with you. Work with your emotions, work with clearing that out, look into the organs I suggested as well too, and help that be cleared out. Okay, thank you. Okay, Lulina Reiki, thank you very much for your contribution. Appreciate it. Okay, Alazar says I'm going to do that now. Thank you. Thanks again, Alazar. Appreciate it. Let me know how it goes, okay? Contact me, info@newearthteachings.org if you have any other questions on that, okay? All right, guys, so we're going to wrap up healing now, and we're going to go into Q&A. So let me just kind of scroll up, because we had some pretty interesting questions here around the top of the chat. Okay. I just like the community here. I'm seeing how you guys are chatting with each other. It's great to see that, right? It's refreshing. Okay. Okay, well, the reason I'm going to look into this question, because it is something that is quite commonplace with a lot of other people I've talked to as well. This is from Matea, I believe her name is, Matea Maya Rotar. How can I find inner motivation to be enthusiastic about creating? Lately, I feel very stagnant, lazy, not enjoying life anymore. What could be the cause of that? Overcloaking, emotional imbalance, not taking care of yourself, stagnancy, right? All of that is building up. It's kind of just like what I said with Alazar as well too, right? If you're feeling you have no inner motivation, we're not looking for motivation, okay? Motivation is pretty much useless. You don't want to be motivated. You want to be inspired, okay? Inspiration is all about it, because that's like the heart of spirit, right? When you are inspiring yourself, you're going into spirit, right? You are inspiring yourself. And in order for that to happen, we need to raise our frequency up. We need to go up onto the love platform, and we need to start bringing in that love energy. So it's very much similar to what I just said with Alazar altogether. If you're feeling stagnant, you're feeling lazy, these are entity attachments. This is overcloaking. This is basically what we commonly refer to as bipolarism. Okay? 1 minute you're up, the minute you're down. 1 minute you're up, next minute you're down again. Bipolarism is a very common effect relating to entity attachments. Okay, that is the idea of overcloaking altogether. So what you want to do is you want to fire up that BCR video. And again, I've made this for free for you guys. Okay, so keep working with that BCR technique. Do it every single day. And when you're beaming with so much light and so much love, and you're putting all this love energy into your body, and you're clearing out the entity attachments, you're clearing out the you're clearing out the stagnant energy, because the love energy is taking over, you're going to feel a difference. If you say, Brad, I'm having trouble with this, then you come and contact me. Okay, we do a session together. We do an Akashic scan. We can do anything like that. That's why I'm here. So, again, the answer to that question is a lot of it is emotional imbalance. A lot of it is overcloaking. A lot of it is toxicity in the body. We want to clear that out. Okay, that is the simple answer to that in a nutshell. Okay, thank you very much, Matea. Hope you're feeling better. Kathy says shock trauma drains your adrenals, kidneys. Yes, it does. Absolutely, it does. You're right on the money there, Kathy. Okay. Now here is a question for Adronis. It's kind of an interesting one. Okay. This is from Nanda Persad. She said, I believe. Hi, Brad. I heard that the Tegetin race from planet Era is helping liberating planet Earth. Can Adronis share his view on this? Okay. So I will bring Adronis in on this, because again, this is something that needs to be addressed as well too, relating to these ideas about other races and such. Okay, so let me take a moment to bring Adronis in, and he'll share some insight on that. We are here. At this time, we bid you greetings, and thank you very much for the opportunity of this interaction today. I am Adronis of Sirius. We say hello to Nanda and to all of you, and thank you, Nanda, for your question relating to the Tegetans in that way. Now, you have to understand that there are many different planetary systems that are involved with what you term as behind-the-scenes work. Now, as we have talked about the Confederation of Planets. We have talked about these armadas that have come through your sun and have performed certain forms of surveying, certain forms of defense, certain forms of overwatching in that way as well too. Many of these beings that are a part of the Galactic Confederation of Planets exist in other star systems. And there are, of course, other organizations that are other entity bodies that are here, and they are all lending a helping hand. This is not, as you would term, a lone wolf effort. No one race is responsible for working behind the scenes. It is a group effort. We have come here because we have been invited to come here. We have come here because we have been requested to come here. We do not basically come of our own volition. We come in the idea of where there is assistance needed, where there is requests, and therefore it becomes answered. No one race is responsible for helping to heal the planet other than really yourselves, because it's the human race that's doing most of the work. You're doing most of the work here, dear humans. It's not the idea of you putting so much energy upon all of these other extraterrestrial civilizations behind the scenes and saying, well, they're doing all the work, they're clearing all this up. No, we're just taking care of other faculties happening behind the scenes to ensure that all of you can do the work that you've come here to do. So yes, you could say it too is a group effort relating to many of us that are behind the scenes working in the areas that we feel are sufficient, because even though we are existing in our own realm, our own dimension in that way, we are reaching out to many of you. We are speaking to others as well too. We are helping out and aiding in any particular way that we can. But all of us are doing work. But the majority of the work is coming from all of you because it's your planet. Because you are the civilization that lives on this planet. Therefore, you're obliged to do most of the work. Do not feel that all the work you're doing is being sent out unnecessarily to other extraterrestrial civilizations and saying, well, they're doing it. No, they're not. We are taking care of other faculties. Then ensure that they're not getting in the way for the ground crew to do what they're here to do. So yes, there are Tegetans, but there are Tegetans in different federations, in different organizations together. There are Tegetans in the Confederation of Planets. There are Tegetans in the Galactic Federation. There are Tegetans in certain alliances. So there are different types. Think of it in this way. Your own planet has numerous space agencies. There's not just NASA. You have numerous space agencies. And so this is giving you the idea that just because there's one planet, they must immediately belong to one federation. No, there is a mixture that happens. Some of these planets create their own federations, and they can be seen in that sense as a Tegetan alliance or a Tegetan federation. And that does happen. But that doesn't mean that all of the population of their planet is immediately aligned to that type of federation. There are mixtures. It all depends upon one's alignment because souls are unique. So, yes, part of the Tegetan energy is part of the behind-the-scenes operations that are taking place, but they are not solely responsible. We are not solely responsible. It is all a group effort in the assistance to what the Earth herself requires, because that's why we're here. we thank you very much for your question. Okay, summed up nicely. All right, so moving on. Thank you, Nanda, for your question. Okay, scrolling down the list here. Okay, just an update from Waltrot. I do feel lighter now from the mouth problem he had, and I have a metallic taste in my mouth. The metallic taste. Okay, so that may relate to the idea of possibly an infection. That may again represent some toxicity as well too. Again, I'm not a doctor, so if anybody has any advice on a medical level for Waltrot, you can always share that with him as well too. But it feels like a metallic taste, feels like a toxin or an infection in that particular way as well too. So there's something in the body that should not be there, something toxic. Okay, so again, hopefully the codes will start working together with that. But like I said, look into the structured silver. Okay, look into thankyousilver.com. Okay, all right. Okay, just scrolling down to see if there's questions here. Okay. Okay, here's just one from Ron Crystal. It's mostly just a comment, but one daily 150 milligram sea kelp tablet is a natural source of iodine. Yes, look into sea kelp, seaweed. That is very good as well too. I also use that. I'm using just the single iodine drops right now for my thyroid on a daily basis, but you can also look into seaweed or sea kelp. That contains a good amount of iodine in it, and that can help to clear it as well too, working with your thyroid. Okay. Okay, here's one here from Janet. It's a soy question. Okay. Hello, Brad. Why are they putting soy in so many of the foods? I heard it is very bad for us. I mean, they are even putting it in with tuna, with water. What's this all about? Thank you in advance. Well, again, it's more garbage, really, in the best way I can put it. I used to drink soy milk quite a bit, but it was causing a lot of bloat within my body as well too, so I stopped taking it. But yeah, soy is not really good for consumption. It also may have certain byproducts. It may also be it can also be GMO as well too. It all depends on the type of soy brands you buy. But yeah, it's just another intermixing of people who believe that soy is good as a milk alternative, but it's not. And so, yeah, it can get out there in that way. So again, I just say, guys, do your research. People are talking about soy milk and dairy and eggs and all that, and those are things you want to try and avoid in your diet. But again, you have to do your own research. You have to look at this in your own way. And really what I suggest is that whenever you're going to the store, you're talking to your body, right? Your body is telling you this is what you need to get for dinner tonight. This is what you need to eat, right? You're going into the produce section. You're looking at organic apples. You're looking at organic bananas, whatever it is. And your body is saying, yes, get this, right? You're eating for your body. You're not always having to follow a strict dietary regimen. What you want to do is just listen to what your body says, connect to its higher source. And how do you do that? Love energy, guys, right? So before you go into the grocery store, BCR technique. Get yourself into such a high loving energy. And now you go into the grocery store and now you're fully receptive to what your body says, this is what I want to get, right? So stay in your car, or before you go in the grocery store, go over to a corner, do the BCR technique real quick, then go into the grocery store when you're feeling lighter than air. That's what's going to help you a lot in choosing the type of foods that are for you. I don't want to get into this big food war with people, right? Because people are saying, oh, Brad, I'm vegan, or I'm vegetarian, or I'm ketogenic and all that stuff. Fine. Whatever you decide to do is fine. I'm not going to debate the idea of diet with you guys. But the whole idea here is being able to listen to your body, get into that high love state, and then your body will choose for you what it needs. Okay? That's always my recommendation. Listen to what your body needs. Okay, I have a request here. Thank you for the contribution, Mila. Can Adrona scan something in my body and environment? Okay, guys, a little bit more specificity just helps, because when you're saying scanning something in your body and environment, are you talking about your bodily environment? Are you talking about your external space, etc. like that? Just a little bit more specificity just helps. But I get an idea about what you're trying to ask, Mila. So let me take a moment to bring Adronis in, and he can share some insight with you. Okay, one moment. We thank you, Mila, for your question. As we scan your body now, all right, you may want to look into the idea of parasitic cleanses. So you may want to look at specific parasitic cleanses that are helping to clear out, again, harsh toxicity, harsh bacteria, and certain parasites within the body. Some of these, again, can exist within the intestinal tract. Secondly, you may want to look into mineral salt cleanses, helping in that sense to completely clear out any other particular forms of stagnant, or in that sense, longer duration of unhealthy bacteria that has been breeding within the stomach area, as well as the gallbladder area, as well as the large and small intestinal area, and of course, also the colon. So cleaning yourself out, doing cleanses, clearing that out altogether would be a recommendation. Of course, Brad himself always recommends the BCR technique, and we would recommend that as well too. But if you want to look at this on a dietary level, cleanses, all right? Parasitic cleanses, mineral cleanses, clearing it out. You may also want to look into celery juice as well too. You have a very great amount of clutter of thoughts. You overthink things quite a bit as well too. And this is actually leaking into certain areas of your environment because you may say that you have certain unwelcome guests. So there are, in that sense, quote unquote, shadow people that can show up on occasion relating to your space. So you want to ensure that you are blessing your space. You want to work on deeper states of concentration to align more to the thoughts that you know are serving yourself, not being bombarded by an enormous clustering of thoughts that are existing within your mind. So you want to go on a quote-unquote thought diet. So bless your space. Bring in the angels. Bring in spirit light, especially around your bedroom area when you go to sleep at night. Bring a lot of blessings, a lot of cleansing into your environment. For again, you have had certain encounters with shadow beings. Again, these are really just projections of other different dimensional beings, and a lot of them can relate to attachments. And again, the attachments can be found in the liver, can be found in your digestive system, your intestines. It can also be found in that sense in the kidneys as well too, and the adrenals. So you want to ensure that you are clearing that out. BCR technique. All right. We thank you very much for your question. Okay, Mila, thank you very much for your question. Appreciate it. But yeah, specificity, guys. If you guys can get a little bit more specific, it just helps us with time here. Even though I know you guys are doing contributions, I appreciate that, but I want to try and get to as many people as I can. So, okay, so here's one from Sana. Hi, Brad. So many thanks for your efforts. My question is, Sophia is the same aspect of Lucifer, and is she the twin flame of Michael? Love and light to all from Iraq. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Sana. Sana, it's very nice for you to be here. Yes, in the best way to put it. Now, like I said, I was pretty uncomfortable doing that video. Now people ask, well, Brad, why are you so uncomfortable? This is your truth in that sense. Well, because there's a lot of controversy relating to what I was talking about with Satan, what I was talking about with Lucifer, what I was even talking about with the word sin as well too. These are all goddesses. These are all priestesses. These are all, beautiful angelic women. I wouldn't say women, but feminine energies that have been a part of the love creation that represents this universe. And again, like I said, it's like you're having, I don't know if I have an example here. Wish I had my board in front of me. But it's like having this beautiful goddess right here, and now you have this huge sphere that's just clamped in on them, and it's just being filled up with poison, right? And these goddesses have been poisoned. They have been tortured. They have been mutilated. They have been sacrificed, right? Every time that a person is being offended by the aspect of Satan or by Lucifer, they're getting hit with daggers, right? It's exactly what's happening here. So basically, we're being told that it's this grotesque, quote unquote, demonic or devilish being, but it's not. It's a goddess that's coming in here and basically has this sphere contained around them and is having this fluid filled with poison and just being stabbed every time a person is offended by using that aspect of Satan in a vain name, or the aspect of Lucifer in a vain name. They're getting daggers in them, and it's a horrifying thing. So really what I would suggest is that we cleanse those words. We clear those words up, right? Whenever we're looking at Satan, we actually are now creating that old image of a devil, and we're throwing that aside, and we're seeing the goddess, right? We may want to say it differently, like Satan or something like that. And now you're actually seeing this goddess. You're seeing their pure light. You're feeling their pure love. Because Satan is the name of a priestess that is linked to Sirius and is also linked to Isis as well, too. And Sana, going to your question here, is that Lucifer is a twin flame of Michael? Yes, absolutely. Michael and Lucifer are a united pair, a unified pair, but they serve God. So they're kind of in their celibate path, working with God. But they would represent like the full embodiment of all of us, relating to the divine masculine and divine feminine, right? So yes, there's a lot of stories about tainted aspects of Lucifer, saying, oh, that he's male, and that he's evil, and that he's horrible, etc., etc. Well, you're looking at one facet pertaining to the Lucifer energy that has been completely disrupted, that's been completely distorted. But when you're looking at the true nature of the Luciferian energy, it is loving energy. It is the brightest light in heaven, right? That is the nature of Lucifer. So again, this is where we get a lot of controversy caught up. Like I said, Spirit really wanted me to do this. I said, Brad, you got to do this video. You have to do this video. People have to know about this. People already may know about this already, but there's people in that sense who are very much in the dark. And again, those that are religious fundamentalists, if they even see my video where I'm talking about Satan and Lucifer, right? But I don't care, right? It needed to be done. I wasn't so comfortable in doing it, but I knew I had to do it. It needed to get out there in that way. And then again, this is just talking about the fall of the Dark Age, right? So the very end of the Dark Age is 2037, okay? And then we move into 2038, and that's the benchmark time of the Golden Age. Okay, that's where we were looking at an entirely new planet. But everything right now is just transitioning. We're just going through all this transition stuff. The light's already won, right? We've already prevailed. We've prevailed since after the Second World War. What they're doing is they're trying to fight the aspects of the cabal, the aspects of the elite. They have been trying so desperately to try and fight out of this tunnel that's pushing them towards their own undoing. And they've been fighting against that tunnel. And that's why they've been stepping up so much since post-World War II, after the atomic bomb. And they have been pushed towards this tunnel and saying, nope, you guys are on the way out now. You guys are out of here. Oh no, we're not going to be out here. We're going to stick around here like a poison, and we're going to try and poison and corrupt as many people as we can, and we're going to scream really, really loud. And therefore, we have the idea of the post-industrial age, the digital age, all of that, and trying to poison so many people on their way out. Right? It's like getting debris out of an enema, right? It's I don't want to be too graphic with people, but it's really nasty when it's about to come out. And that's what's happening to them. They're being cleared out like an enema. But it's been over for them since after World War II. It's been done. But again, they're like cockroaches, right? And a huge swarm of cockroaches. And it takes a lot of effort to get all those cockroaches out of that particular place. And they've been stinking up the environment and creating all kinds of chaos. When they know their time's up, they can't do anything. They're in this tunnel. They want to try and switch around and say, oh, no, let's use CERN technology. Let's use the idea of quantum technology, and let's shift into different timelines. And let's try and make sure that this timeline relating to the harvest doesn't happen. Guess what? It's not your call, because that's God's decision. This is God's universe. You cannot bypass it. No soul can be greater than the creator, right? It's like I said, if I'm creating this, right? I created this out of 3D printer technology. That's like it coming along and saying, Brad, evil. I'm going to take over now. I have the broadcast now. I'm in charge. Right? Not going to happen. It's not the idea of the creation trying to take over the creator. Okay? That can't happen. That cannot be done. And maybe I should do like a little puppet show with this thing. It's not too bad. But again, this is the whole nature, is that the creation can never take over the creator. This is the creator's universe. This is God's universe. This is God's planet. This is God's universe. So the creation that, again, is meant to be thrown out through the aspect of the cycles that are to come is what's going to happen. It doesn't matter if they start using quantum technology. They start using CERN technology. They start shifting into different timelines, different world lines, and thinking that they can try and bypass the harvest. It's not possible, because it occupies all timelines. Okay? This is why I say, again, 2037 is so important, right? I've never been one to actually share dates in regards to predictions. I don't like those. But Spirit was very, very adamant saying, you got to share it. You got to share it with 2037 because this is not a suggestion. This is not a possibility. This is a definite. That's when this age ends. 2037. I mean, you go into 2038, it's the golden age. That's how it works. So again, to get to your question, Sana, I don't know how I trailed off there, but yes, it's absolutely true that Lucifer and Michael are indeed, you could say, a couple, a divine union altogether in that way. But again, we're going through some big changes right now, and it's all part of a transition that has happened since post-World War II. Okay? Thank you again, Sana, for your question. Okay. And here's another one from El Vivamax. Brad, I was watching Van Elken's, John Van Elken, for everybody who's wondering. Okay, his name is John, last name Van Elken, V-A-N, and then A-U-K-E-N. Okay, John Van Elken. He's done a lot of work with Edgar Cayce's readings, and is one of the best researchers I've seen. But anyways, El Vivamax says, Brad, I was watching John Van Elken's material on the prophecies in the Great Pyramid and how precise they are. Can you give us a history on how they were able to see so much and so accurately? Well, a lot of it came from the Edgar Cayce readings, right? A lot of the Edgar Cayce readings came together. Oh, but I think what you're talking about is how the pyramids were built in that specific way. Well, this is all thanks to Thoth, right? This is all thanks to him being this architect, because you could almost look at him as a type of avatar, right? He was an avatar that came down. He had all these divine blueprints, and he helped to assemble this architecture of the Giza Plateau. And he was, again, you could say a son of God in that way. He was very much on the Creator's path, and everything that he was going through, he was being told, you have to create it this way. This is exactly how it needs to be laid out. And so they laid it out precisely in regards to the blueprint that he was receiving. So, there's connections with Thoth or with Hermes in that way, right? Some people are saying that they're one and the same, but I see them as, in that way, two different archetypes. But Thoth's, again, brilliance and his ability to work together with Spirit, it was like he was putting together this code. He may not even have been aware of what was actually happening as well, too. But he knew that he had to build it in this particular way, and that those that were working with him had to build it in this certain way in regards to it being a blueprint and then putting it together into physical reality. So, accurately, we can never really describe how he was able to do this, because that's using words, and that's not really good enough. And what he did really was beyond words. He was able to tap into very, very deep levels of spirit and create this entire plateau that is in alignment with the stars, that again has this blueprint underneath the pyramid relating to the pyramid measurement, right? The pyramid inch. And again, if you look at the idea of the pyramid timeline, it's incredible accuracy, right? It predicted the day that Jesus was born. It predicted the day that World War I would happen, predicted the exact day that World War II happened. And then it stretches itself out. And again, like it says, it's a transitional cycle, right? It ended World War II, was the end of the darkness. But now, again, there's a transitional period for the end of the darkness to get out of the anima in that way. And then we come into the very end of the climax, the very end of the year, the very end of the age, which represents 2038. Okay, so the late 2037 would be the last year of the Dark Age. 2038 would start the new Golden Age together. So this is not just me saying this. I didn't even know about John Van Elken until after I made the prediction with Spirit about 2037. And then somebody told me about John Van Elken and what he was saying, and I looked into it afterwards. Like, wow, this is great coordination here. It's very excellent. So yes, there are a few experts who have also discovered this as well too. I mean, the pyramid timeline is the most accurate timeline there is on our entire planet, relating to the foretelling of certain events. And again, it ends in 2038. Actually, I would say more so just at the very, very end of 2037, because 2038 represents a new benchmark. Just how 2012 represented the end of time, right? Now, some people say, well, what are you talking about, Brad? We're still here. Well, we're looking a lot more into multidimensional realities, are we not? Right? The Mandela effect started to become quite popular around 2012, 2013, around that time. And so we're starting to understand the nature of parallel realities. We're starting to understand about what it's feeling like to be a little bit more quasi-linear, right? And then when we move into 2038, this is a galactic inauguration, right? This is the time of moving into a galactic species to actually becoming galactic. So whether you're in third density or whether you're in fourth density, both densities are going to be starbound. Okay, so both densities are going to be going through all those things. Both densities will have extraterrestrial contact around the time of 2038. And again, that benchmark will start to forward itself further in the next few years. Just like 2012 represented the end of any feeling of concept of linear-based time, we started now to become familiar with quasi-linear time, with the idea of different realities happening at the same time. And that's what's going to happen in 2038, is that we're going to become starbound. We're going to move past the Earth. We're going to go to different planets. We're going to visit different celestial bodies, all of that, right? It's like I've talked about as well, too. Again, just a couple of days ago, I found out that Mercury was once our old moon, right? And I've had people grumble about that as well, too. So, oh, Brad, he's losing his mind here, man. I don't know what he's talking about. He's saying that Mercury is our old moon and blah, blah, stuff. Well, guys, I'm not making this up. This is all coming to me through spirit. When I heard about the idea of Mercury once being our ancient moon, my jaw dropped. I said, you gotta be kidding me, right? And I'm checking in with spirit. No, spirit says this is it. This is true. Mercury was once our moon. We once had a smaller moon as well, too, but that moon is now in the Saturnian planetary system. And so as one of its moons. So we had a small moon as well, too. And then a short time, there was a small period where we didn't even have a moon on the around the Earth, right? The Earth was bare without a moon. And this is documented. The Greeks were able to document this as well, too. That there was a time where there was no moon around the planet, and all of a sudden a new one just popped up, right? So the old moon, Mercury, is a Pleiadian base, okay? This is now basically Mercury is an indigenous satellite, but it is also artificial as well too. It has been here for a very, very long time, but it has always been around the Earth. This is why Adronis never really mentioned Mercury as it being a planet, because it's actually a moon, right? And so it was moved from Earth, and then there was a short time where there was no moon, and all of a sudden, the current moon that we know showed up. And again, that is what transported the survivors from Mars onto Earth during the times of Atlantis, and that is the introduction to the Aryan race. So again, there's a lot of history that has been withheld from us, and a lot of us have no clue about what the actual history of the Earth is. And again, as I say, it's about histories rather than the idea of history, right? There's a lot of perspectives that we have, because a lot of them are culminating together, and they're fusing, just like we see with the example of the Mandela effect, right? Okay, so scrolling down here, I'm just going to look. We're going to probably close it up here in about 5 or 6 minutes. So I'm just going to kind of scroll down the list here, see if I can get some questions down at the bottom of the list. Okay, here's one here from Don Quixie. Hope I'm pronouncing your name right. Will those who are left behind after 2037 on the third density Earth, will they have the opportunity to get to fourth density in the next harvest? Harvest, yes. Which could be 12,000 years, 25,000 years, something like that. We basically have certain cycles to where these harvests come together. Like I said, this is a window of opportunity, right? A window of opportunity that will start to narrow itself down as we get closer to 2037, and then it'll basically reach its breach point, and then harvest will start, right? So this is a window of opportunity. And again, if you look back at the Law of One books, right? Even the Law of One, Ra talks about the idea of there being past harvests, right? Basically 12,000 years ago, 25,000 years ago, and it all occurs in these particular types of cycles. So those that stay in third density, incarnationally speaking, are there. You guys have to remember that your own spiritual growth does not completely depend upon itself through incarnation, okay? You continue your spiritual work when you transition from this physical body, which means that you could spend 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, Earth relative speaking, in the spirit world, and you have evolved yourself so much, you instantly go to fourth density if you want to incarnate again, right? Your learning does not halt because your incarnation is gone, right? When you leave this physical body, it doesn't say, well, okay, well, I'm not going to learn anything now. I'm just going up to heaven and I'm not going to do anything. I'm just going to sit there and do nothing. I'm going to sit here on a cloud that is a chair, and that's all I'm going to do, right? No, I mean, you don't have to do that. If you want to do that, fine, but you continue to learn. you continue to prosper. You continue to evolve yourself when you go with this body. Basically, people get so misunderstood with the idea of thinking that if I'm not an incarnational body, then I'm not going to learn anything. I'm not going to go up into the higher densities. Guys, that's complete and total BS, right? There's a lot of spirits that won't even want to go back into incarnation ever again. They will stay in the spirit world and they will evolve themselves in that way. They don't want to incarnate again. They don't care. They don't want nothing to do with it. And they'll elevate themselves up and they'll go up into fourth density, fifth density, sixth density, blah, blah, blah. They can even go outside this universe and they can start looking at it as a witness. They start looking at it as an overwatcher, right? You basically can have the angels take you right out of this sphere of the universe and you're just here outside of the universe watching it like it's a monitor, like it's a television, and you're just checking things out. Okay, what would you like to do now? Oh, I think I'll pop back in there. Maybe I'll go look into some spiritual communities. Maybe I'll go into the causal planes. I'll start looking into the Akasha a lot more. I think I'll volunteer myself to be a librarian custodian in the Akashic records. Go for it. That's Spirit's attitude, right? You're the one that decides how far you want to propel yourself. But people get so caught up in this physical body. They get so caught up in this density thinking that, oh, well, if I pass away, and I'm, in third density, well, then I'm going to have to come back in third density again. No, that doesn't always mean that that has to happen. People come back because they feel an attachment here. They feel like they need to come back. But like I said, you're always going to some different type of Earth, right? Like I said, an Earth may be 99.99999% similar, but you're still going to a different Earth every single time that you decide to incarnate again. This is the only time that you're having this unique incarnation in this type of Earth. Right? The next incarnation will have, again, a similarity, but it'll be a different Earth because everything changes. Everything's in fluid motion, right? And so when you're away from that Earth on an incarnational level, that Earth continues to go through changes and transformations. And now you incarnate into an Earth that goes through those changes and transformations again because you want to be in alignment relating to, why you decide to come back. I want to raise a family. I want to live in Australia. I want to have more sex. I want to be a millionaire, whatever it is. Go for it. It's a sandbox, people. That's what the universe is. It's a big sandbox. And you can play in the sandbox for as much as you want. You say, oh, I'm tired of the sandbox. I'm going to go step outside of this universe. And I'm just going to chill for a while. I'm going to relax. I'm going to rest. I'm going to heal myself up for a while. Go for it. That's it, right? You're the decision maker. Now, Spirit can come to you and say, well, we'd really suggest you go back here because this is where you feel you're needed to really look into this and to correct this a lot more. But again, like I said, altogether, it's your decision, right? People will decide to go back to Earth because sometimes their guides may say it's a good thing for you to go back to Earth because you want to try and resolve this. You're looking at this. But again, ultimately, it's your decision. So what do you do after you transition from this life? Whatever you want. Period. And that's the truth, right? So a lot of people are working together with their own personal hells. They put themselves through all of this chaos and they're working past their chaos. But even when you're in the center of your chaos, there's always an angelic hand that's opening up and saying, hey, do you want to come with me? Come into the light, forgive this aspect, come with me into the light, and let's go into the light together. Okay? There's always a helping hand. Even when people are in the deepest bowels of the astral realms and they're struggling, they're fighting, they're battling with all of their own inner demons, there's always that hand that reaches out and saying, are you ready to get past this chaos? But guess what? We can't fully pull you out until you breach, right? So when you breach, like I've talked about with the pain breach, that is exactly when you surrender to yourself and you say, okay, yes, please pull me out. I'm done with this. Good. Here we go. That's it. That's how it is. That's how it is to be a soul, right? To be a soul is for you to explore this entire universe and understand what it is to be a soul. God created this universe for all of us, and that we're learning more and more about what this universe entails, right? You see this big starry sky behind me, and we can touch every single one of those stars. We are each and one of those stars. And that, again, is how we continue to evolve. We have so much to experience and explore, to understand what it is to be a soul, so that we can become a God ourselves, and then be given our own universe by the one true God and saying, here you go. Now you can create this universe. Now you can create these planets, these stars, these life forms, these galaxies. All of that can be yours now that you're creating, because it's all going to come back to me as well too. So here's Creator, here's the Mother, here's the Father, here's us. And then we create our own universe, and then others come through us. And then it's this big, gigantic chain, this pyramid in that way. And that's how it will continue to be. So as a soul, you do have 100% freedom to do whatever you wish. Do not feel that you're just anchored here in an incarnational dimension and thinking that's all there is relating to your spiritual evolution. That's one of the biggest distortions there is. You have complete and total willpower to continue that teaching, even when you go off into spirit. The teachings continue. They do not end, and they are not completely exclusive only to incarnation. Okay? Please remember that. Okay, guys, we're out of time for this week. It's now 1:30, so I'm going to go ahead and wrap up. Thank you, everybody, for being part of this webcast today. Again, next week is going to be Empathic Interfacing Live, where we'll be connecting with Athena, and Athena will be giving some perspective there from the Delphi Inner Earth civilization. So again, I look forward to seeing you all next week. Take care, and I'll talk to you then. Have a great day wherever you are in the world. Namaste.